Written and directed by Brendan Devane, we are talking The Sound. And this is a 2025 rock climbing horror movie that has a sprinkle of the X-Files in it. So the story focuses on a group of rock climbers who want to climb up this mountain which has been closed for around 60 years because last time people tried to climb it, they all died basically. And this mountain is owned by this Native American people, and they have now allowed climbers to go climb this mountain. So we have a group of rock climbing enthusiasts, all of whom are wanting to kind of do this challenge because it represents, you know, an unknown and a kind of like a rare opportunity for them. And there seems to be some type of government interest in what is up this mountain, and it could be some type of evil force. In fact, this Native American tribe believe that there is some type of entity up the mountain which is evil and should be stopped. As these climbers go up there, this kind of chief tells one of the climbers he's got to stop this evil force. And what will happen? You'll have to watch the movie and find out. So let's discuss. So, cards on the table. I have never climbed a mountain, nor will I ever. I have no interest in doing so. The reason why I say that is this movie was apparently made with great passion for this sport and great reverence. A lot of the people involved are keen mountain climbers, whatever you want to call, whatever the actual sport's name is. And as such, from what I have read, it is a quite authentic portrayal of what people would be doing in these circumstances. So if you are a fan of rock climbing and things like that, then apparently this movie gets it right in most cases in regards to the technical elements. And as such, it becomes, you know, a authentic rock climbing horror movie. Now, again, I have no frame of reference for this, and I can't imagine the rock climbing community is that big, to be honest. But, you know, I'll give credit where credit is due. They have taken the sport seriously and more or less written a movie around it, so there's obviously a big reverence for it in this film. So if you are a fan of that, then, you know, you should appreciate the fact that great care and attention has been given to the depiction of these kind of rock climbers, what they are doing, the equipment that they're using, the kind of the techniques, all of that sort of stuff. So that's the first kind of positive thing I would say in this movie's favour. The second is it's quite an original idea in some ways in regards to the kind of the threat here. It's a little vague, and we'll come on to that again. But, you know, an interesting idea to have a horror movie with some type of entity basically harassing and attacking these kind of rock climbers. You don't really know what it is. It seems to be able to have otherworldly powers, like it emits this kind of like these audio frequencies. It's seeming able to kind of possess people, and there definitely seems to be like a conspiracy type X-Files. The government kind of know what's sort of going on about it. So there's some interesting concepts in this movie in regards to some story elements here. And I think, you know, because of that and because of the setting, it does give it a sort of original feel. And I have to give kind of props to that. Having this, you know, at least an intriguing premise, an idea, a story concept here that I think is quite intriguing. So, you know, again, there's plaudits for that. It is obviously a relatively low budget movie, and, you know, you can kind of see that it's kind of at times sort of green screen and stuff like that. But again, I think they do a reasonable job here of giving you the belief that these people are up this kind of this mountainside and stuff in in an appropriate kind of fashion and stuff like that. And I was initially intrigued about what the actual kind of the concept was, and this would now lead me into it doesn't work. Is that I think this movie's actual plot is extremely muddled, and even after watching it to its completion, I still wasn't 100% sure about what was actually supposed to be kind of going on. What is the kind of the government's kind of interest in it? Is it some type of supernatural entity? Is it some type of alien kind of entity? What does it actually want? I found this movie really vague and ill-defined in what actually is meant to be happening in certain times, and and this group of initially 6 mountain climbers with 2 more acting as support, and they're not doing it for any other reason other than sport, but they all seem to be so determined to get to this mountain, even when there's people dying. And this is just the sport, man. It's just like, calm down. No one knows really that there is this power, evil force at the top of this mountain, and the kind of as in regards to the government sort of conspiracy stuff, that is so vague. I mean, that is like, I just didn't know. It seemed to have no part in it really. I mean, it's just like, it seems like it's tacked on. That seems like a reshoot to me. But yeah, it's just a confusing kind of like ill-conceived sort of idea for a movie. The idea, well, I'd say the idea is solid. The premise is solid, but the execution in regards to how the actual plot plays out, it just doesn't. I just didn't really feel it landed. It just was very, very vague, very kind of like confused and ill-defined. The next thing, the dialogue. Oh boy. The dialogue here is atrocious. Some of the kind of the ham-fisted lines of dialogue here are embarrassingly trite. This is a film that's trying to take itself somewhat seriously. This is not like a camp, silly, schlocky film. This is trying to take this seriously. Have this, cerebral threat. There's some type of entity. We've got people taking the sport seriously. We've got government agencies, yet the dialogue here is atrocious at times. Embarrassingly crap dialogue. And that isn't all. The acting here is, I'll be kind and say mixed. It's not all bad, but when it's bad, it is bad. Now, at the end of the credits, we see all of the actors doing kind of rock climbing, presumably in their spare time. So it strikes me what's happened is here, rather than casting actors to do the job of a rock climber, they have casted rock climbers doing the job of actors. And as such, the acting is at times quite poor. And then let's talk about the finale. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe what they did in the finale. It was so cheesy. Again, I'm not going to spoil this for you, but something happened and I was like, that is so ridiculously stupid. That's all I'll say. So it's a real shame, because I went into this movie expecting it to be quite a kind of a taut thriller, quite a serious kind of science fiction movie, or science fiction horror movie, obviously taking the subject matter seriously and treating the sport of rock climbing with a great deal of reverence. And although that part is true, the rest of it really feels like it's an afterthought. I'll give it some points for that, taking the rock climbing so seriously and its originality, but the execution is poor. I'll give it a 4 out of 10. It's a below average movie. But if you're a huge rock climbing fan, then you may have some level of enjoyment. Have you seen it? What did you think of it? Please leave me a comment and I'll look forward to seeing you next time.